Welcome to another Walter Football video. I'm Charlie Campbell, Senior Draft Analyst, the most accurate mock drafter in the world. You can check the links below if you don't believe me. Also, you can speed it up to 1.25 or 1.5 to make the video go faster. I think it sounds better. Also, if you want to click the link below for the mock, you can follow along on the site. Also, check out rounds 2 and 3. All right, let's get into the mock here. I'm in Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine here at the hotel. Put this mock together. It came out on Monday, February 27th. So we're getting into the heart of draft season now. Still early. Still a lot can change leading up to in these final 2 months before the draft, but definitely exciting. So let's get into the mock that I did for this week. First overall, I have the Bears taking Will Anderson, edge rusher from Alabama. I think for Chicago, obviously they're looking to trade down. I think that'll be likely to happen. I think they'd like to stay relatively high so they can end up getting a premier player for their defense. Now, if you're looking at that discussion between Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, I think the Bears could end up sliding towards Will Anderson in that spectrum because Jalen Carter has character concerns, work ethic concerns. Will Anderson has good intangibles. He also plays a premium position. Bears GM Ryan Poles wants to attack the premium positions. He's placed an emphasis on those. An edge rusher is a premium position where defensive tackle is not. So I could see with the character and the intangibles, the Bears have to get this pick right. I can see where Anderson might end up being the guy that they gravitate towards in the process. Second overall, I have the Texans taking Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama. Obviously, Houston needs a future franchise quarterback, whether it's Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. The Texans are assured of getting an upgrade and a guy they can build around. Third overall, I have the Cardinals taking Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia. They need interior defensive line help after losing J.J. Watt. Carter's one of the premium talents in this draft. Fourth overall, I have the Colts taking C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State. Obviously, the Colts need their future franchise quarterback. They may have to trade up to ensure that they get Stroud or Young. A team could jump them with the Bears or the Cardinals. So this is a really interesting discussion for the Colts and what they're willing to give and how badly they want one of those two quarterbacks. Fifth overall, I have the Seahawks taking Tyree Wilson, defensive end from Texas Tech. The Seahawks need more defensive line talent. They could use help at end. Wilson would be an instant upgrade, really good scheme fit there as well. Sixth overall, I have the Lions taking Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon. A little high for Gonzalez, but I think he's going to rise during the draft process. I think we'll see that here at the Combine in Indianapolis. He's big, he's fast, athletic. I think he's going to work out well, and I could see him being a riser. The Lions need cornerback help. If they don't really attack it in free agency, I think they're going to be drafting one in the first round here in a couple of months. Seventh overall, I have the Raiders taking Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida. If you check out the hot presses that we have going up from the Combine here that I'm putting together, in one of them recently, I talked about how the Raiders prefer Richardson over Will Levis, the quarterback from Kentucky. Richardson gives them a big upside quarterback, a guy for the Raiders to build around. Eighth overall, I have the Falcons taking Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State, another corner that I think is going to rise during the workouts. Joey Porter Jr., big, freakish length, tough player, could be a really good press man corner. I think he'd be a really nice fit for Atlanta across from A.J. Terrell. I think also a player to keep an eye on for this pick would be Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle from Northwestern. If Caleb McGarry isn't re-signed, I think that could really push Skoronski towards Atlanta. Ninth overall, I have the Panthers taking Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky. Carolina needs a future franchise quarterback. If they don't sign Derek Carr, they might be stuck at 9 taking the fourth quarterback, or they could move up. They have an extra second-round pick from the Christian McCaffrey trade that could really help them if they want to be aggressive and jump in front of the Raiders to get a quarterback if they're concerned that Las Vegas could take the guy that they want. 10th overall, I have the Eagles taking Myles Murphy, defensive end from Clemson. The Eagles have age at along the edge with Brandon Graham and Quinn. Both of those guys not long-term players at this point in their career. Here's a young edge rusher to go across from Hassan Reddick. 11th overall, I have the Titans taking Paris Johnson, left tackle from Ohio State. Taylor Lewan was let go. Here's a replacement for him. 12th overall, I have the Texans taking Drew Sanders, edge rusher, linebacker from Arkansas. This is a bit high for Sanders. I think he's probably really should go more in the back half of the first round. But with Miles Murphy off the board here, the Texans badly need help for that defensive front seven. I think D'Amico Ryans has a lot of work to do there, and Sanders can help them at linebacker. He's also a super fast, dynamic, dangerous edge rusher, so I could see him helping them in a variety of ways and being a player that might rise through the process because of that versatility, and also because I think he's going to work out well. 13th overall, I have the Jets taking Peter Skoronski, left tackle from Northwestern. I had the Titans passing on Skoronski because of the length issue. I could see where the Titans might want a more, typical, prototypical left tackle, but Skoronski would be an excellent value for the Jets, who could use help along the offensive line. Could pair him with Mekhi Becton. George Fant could be let go, or if Fant's brought back, you could have Skoronski come in, play guard, and then you have some depth in case Becton gets injured again, or just the weight gets to be too much of a problem. So I could see the Jets looking for some offensive line help. 14th overall, I have the Patriots taking Quentin Johnston, wide receiver from TCU. Give them a big outside receiver help for Mac Jones. This is a huge year for him and Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien. They got to get more points out of that offense. They need more playmaking ability. I could see where Johnston's size and speed could appeal to New England. 15th overall, I have the Packers taking Brian Branch, safety / cornerback from Alabama. He can play slot corner, can play safety, really good football player, really instinctive, smart, tough, always around the ball. I think he'd be a nice upgrade there for Green Bay. 16th overall, I have Washington taking Devon Witherspoon, cornerback from Illinois, as I had in our Senior Bowl hot press rumors that the Redskins really are Commanders really want to get cornerback help here this offseason. They want to improve their cornerbacks, so I think Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez, those guys are really going to be in play for Washington at 16th overall, and in this mock, Witherspoon's the only one who makes it there, but I think he is a good fit for Washington based on the amount of zone that Ron Rivera has played in his defenses over the years, and Witherspoon's a fantastic zone corner. 17th overall, I have the Steelers taking Jalen Duncan, left tackle from Maryland. Maybe a little high for Duncan, but he has a big-time skill set. Tons of upside. Could be a long-term left tackle there for the Steelers. 18th overall, I have the Lions taking Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas. This could be a steal of the draft if Robinson gets to 18. The Lions need running back help. DeAndre Swift is injury prone. He's not reliable to stay on the field. He's in the last year of his contract. Jamal Reynolds is a free agent. They could even bring back Reynolds and still draft Robinson because Jamal Williams. They also have Craig Reynolds, who I think is a free agent, but he's a backup. But Jamal Williams is a free agent. Even if he gets brought back, they could pair him with Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson could work between the 20s. And Jamal Williams is really best as a short yardage goal line back as well, and change of pace kind of guy, not a true three-down starter, big-time playmaker. So he's best as a role player, but Bijan Robinson behind that Lions offensive line could just be an electric playmaker. And the Lions saw that Jared Goff got to his team to the Super Bowl when he had an elite running back in Todd Gurley. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if those are the things that are factoring in. Brad Holmes drafted Todd Gurley with the Rams. He was there with Jared Goff as well. So I think a lot of that could be pulling the Lions towards Bijan Robinson, or maybe even moving from one of their other picks and looking at Jahmyr Gibbs, who's also a fantastic prospect. All right, 19th overall, I have the Bucs taking Tyreek Stevenson. Jamel Dean's a free agent. They have other free agents coming up in the secondary. They could use some help. It's going to be hard to pay all those guys. They paid Carlton Davis last offseason, so I could see them looking for a plug-and-play cornerback. Tyreek Stevenson has a really good skill set, good upside, inconsistent though, but he's really good playing press man. So I could see where the Bucs use him in a press man role with Carlton Davis, and that really helps him to translate going against number 2 receivers, playing a technique that suits him well. So I like that pick for Tampa Bay. 20th overall, I have the Seahawks taking Kalijah Kancey, a defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. Give them an interior pass rusher. Poona Ford's hitting free agency. Even if he's brought back, they could use more help next to him. So I definitely think Kancey also would be a really good fit in the scheme that Seattle runs. But Kancey is a dynamite interior pass rusher, undersized. Can he hold up as a run defender? Those are the questions that push him more towards being a late first-round pick or second-round pick, but he's on the bubble. But that interior pass rush attribute is a tough commodity to find, so it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up going a little higher than expected. 21st overall, I have the Bengals taking Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame. Give Joe Burrow another weapon. I also wouldn't be surprised if Jahmyr Gibbs is in the conversation here, if Joe Mixon's getting let go, but Mayer would be a dynamite tight end there for Cincinnati. 22nd overall, I have the Ravens taking Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver from Ohio State. Typical steal and value for Baltimore, sitting where they are and letting a good player drop to them. Smith-Njigba didn't play much last season because of the hamstring injury, but he is an electric dynamite playmaker, as we saw in 2021. I think he'd be a plug-and-play upgrade for the Ravens. 23rd overall, I have the Vikings taking Henry TuaTua, linebacker from Alabama. Giving them a improved linebacker, I think, makes a lot of sense in that division with the running backs that they're going up against, with the multiple backs that Detroit has had success with, a running quarterback in Justin Fields in Chicago, the dual head running backs in Green Bay with Dillon and Aaron Jones. The Vikings defense was terrible last year. TuaTua also is a good coverage linebacker, so with their linebackers aging and getting close to that cap casualty time, I think TuaTua would make sense for the Vikings. And it's not like where the Vikings are sitting, there's a lot of great options in terms of defensive tackle help, which they could use as well. So maybe if Kancey gets there, they think about that, but they definitely need to beef up the run defense and the pass coverage, and TuaTua helps in both regards. 24th overall, of the Jaguars taking Kelee Ringo, cornerback from Georgia. Ringo is a love and hate prospect from talking to different teams. Some teams just do not like him at all. They feel he got completely exposed last season in terms of change of direction issues. He's big, he's fast in a straight line, but he really struggles with staying with receivers out of breaks, maintaining, running the route, preventing separation. He just has some alarming stiffness, but he's a press man corner that running vertically downfield, he can run with the speed receivers, but the change of direction gives him issues. So because of that, some teams are okay with it, other teams are not. I could see the Jaguars taking him. They drafted a similar corner out of Georgia and Tyson Campbell, similar issues, similar size, speed, strengths as well. So the Jags need more cornerback help, so I could see where Ringo would appeal to them. 25th overall, I have the Giants taking Jordan Addison, wide receiver from USC. Obviously, the Giants need more receiver help. Addison, Zay Flowers, Smith-Njigba, Quentin Johnston, all those guys would be upgrades for New York. So I think the Giants are sitting in a pretty good spot where some of those guys could get to them. 26th overall, I have the Cowboys taking Zay Flowers. They could use another speed playmaking receiver across from CeeDee Lamb. I think Flowers would make sense for Dallas. 27th overall, I have the Bills taking Tyler Steen, offensive tackle from Alabama, was a 3-year starter at Vanderbilt, did his 4th season at Alabama. Tons of experience, plug-and-play ability, could play him at guard, play him at right tackle, would just help the Bills' offense in terms of pass protection and run blocking. I'm sorry, I screwed up the mock. 21st overall, I had a copy issue there. That should have been the Chargers. I had them taking Mazi Smith, defensive tackle from Michigan, give them a replacement for the Notre Dame defensive tackle that they cut that didn't work out, and Jerry Tillery. So sorry about that. Had an issue copying that over. So 28th overall is the Bengals taking Michael Mayer. My bad on that one, guys. 29th overall, I have the Saints taking Tuipulotu, defensive end, defensive tackle, plays both, from USC, can be that base down end, slide inside in the sub package and give the Saints some interior rush and edge rush, really help that defensive line. 30th overall, I have the Eagles taking Lucas Van Ness, add some more defensive line help. He can also rush from the inside in the sub package, could add some weight to him, have him be a 3 technique next to Jordan Davis. So I could see the Eagles really attacking the defense in this draft. Defensive line, secondary help. I think both of those spots, there could be good values for them, and I don't think the Eagles are a team that's going to reach, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them have 2 defensive linemen in the first couple of rounds, and potentially, or flipping that, going 2 defensive backs in the early rounds. 31st overall, I have the Chiefs taking Jahmyr Gibbs, running back from Alabama. Was at Georgia Tech, was really impressive there, kind of went under the radar, great character. Then he goes to Alabama, really was impressive this past season, could be an Alvin Kamara type receiver in the NFL, and the Chiefs could use that. Pacheco is a tough, slam the ball up the middle running back, but Jerick McKinnon was the passer back. He's a free agent, and I think Gibbs would be an upgrade and could form a really nice 1-2 combination and give Pat Mahomes another weapon there. And Pacheco's cheap, so you have 2 running backs done cheap contracts there that are really talented with Gibbs and Pacheco. All right, let's get into teams that do not have first-round picks. All right, we got the Rams up first, 36 overall. I have them taking Broderick Jones, offensive tackle from Georgia. If you want to check the hot press articles, I have one. I spoke with 7 different teams. None of them had Jones graded in the first round, yet you see him getting mocked in the top half of the first round. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but I think Jones is really a day 2 talent. He might sneak into the end of the first round because he plays a premium position. Teams put an emphasis on offensive tackles and edge protectors, but Jones really, there's character issues, there's some technique issues. It wouldn't surprise me if he slides to the second round, and the Rams need offensive line help badly, so I could see where Jones would be a top candidate for them at 36. 42nd overall, I have the Browns taking Isaiah Foskey, defensive end from Notre Dame. They could use more edge rush talent. Jadeveon Clowney's a free agent. I wouldn't be surprised if he's elsewhere next season and Foskey comes in to be that bookend with Myles Garrett. 51st overall, I have the Dolphins taking Deion Henley, linebacker from Washington State. Really nice Senior Bowl week for Henley. Really good 2022 season, impressive tape. Seek and destroy linebacker, fast, athletic. Could be a really nice player in that Miami defense. 68th overall, I have the Broncos taking Wanya Morris, right tackle from Oklahoma, was a Tennessee player and transferred over. I think in the third round, that's a really nice value for Denver to get a right tackle option. They could also kick him inside to guard, but Morris has a good skill set and upside to be a potential starter. So that's this week's mock. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back with you guys more in the weeks to come. I'm working on some more draft theory videos. Gonna be starting on the position reviews articles soon. Of course, you got my mock. It's 3 rounds. Click the link. Check out all 3 rounds. Check out Walt's mock. It's 4 rounds. I'll be adding round 4 here before too long. But definitely, we got tons of great combine coverage. Walt's gonna have all the numbers from the workouts and other articles, and I'm cranking out inside information that I'm getting from meeting with team people here in Indy. So we're rocking and rolling. It's really exciting, and Walt will have free agency coverage coming up, so everything you can need on walterfootball.com. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Love to all of you. Be safe and take care, and I'll be back with you soon.